to talk a little emergency use authorization, but dot dot dot. What am I saying there? I'm saying I just need clarification, and I think I know the reason why, but it doesn't make sense. And what doesn't make sense to me is why people don't question what I'm about to talk about. So the government, or the people who have they weren't elected. They have no reason to have that kind of power that the government does because they're elected, if you want to go down that road. But they're just appointed. They're just put there. They're just brought there. They're there because they're related to somebody. They're there because they're told they can be. Not from the citizens, but by other people. That's just, look at all those. CDC, WHO, all that stuff, FDA. All these huge places, most of them are not part of any government. Most of them are private, entities, private companies that are appointed or acts sort of fell into or given the notion that they should have some sort of power. And because of that they do, because they have some sort of pull over the politicians because of financial means or whatever you want to call it, some sort of government private business partnership. I call that fascism, but whatever. So what I'm talking about here is the problem I have is they can provide an emergency use authorization for anything. In a case of emergency, they can do everything and anything they want. Okay? All right, well, that's what they say. So they can say, well, this medication or this medication, both of these are from private companies, that made these medications. These have emergency use authorization because we did this, and this, or because we said so, or because it's that much emergency not to go through the standard 5-year, 8-year, 10-year, 12-year, rigmarole, testing, all that kind of stuff, and retesting and all that. We have emergency here. We don't have time for that. Okay, well, that's what they say. That's what they do. That's what they've done. And that's what they continue to do. Now, in that same sense, and they're talking right there, at the same time, they also say, or they don't have to say because it's in writing, and they say it's not allowed, someone's suffering from cancer, someone's suffering from heart disease, someone's suffering from another major, a thing that they say is not curable, whatever you want to call it. Well, they are not allowed to take these experimental drugs from pharma because they haven't been tested enough. They haven't been through the 5, 8, 10, 12 years of testing yet. They haven't been approved by the FDA. They haven't been approved by this or that. They don't have all this stuff, so you're not allowed to do that. Even though you might only have 6 months to live, or even though you have less than 2 years to live, even though you've been told you have less than 2 weeks to live, you're not allowed to try those things. Okay? There's no emergency use authorization for you who are going to die in under 6 months, but there is for this other thing because we said so. Because we're getting our backs padded and our pocketbooks, our wallets padded. Because we do this from lobbyists, from whatever you want to call it. That's how it happens. Same goes for someone is suffering and they have a few months to live, they've been told, because of whatever ailment they have. Well, you're not allowed, in certain states, you're not allowed to have marijuana. You're not allowed to do this trial, medication. And that's because it's not medication. That this herb, this mixture of herbs, this other therapy, whether it's ozone therapy or it's hyperbaric chamber therapy or it's whatever kind of other therapies are there, you're not allowed to. No, you need to go to Mexico for that. We're not telling you to go to Mexico, but if you want it done, you have to go to Mexico because we have too many regulations and stipulations here. A lot of that's the same with the stem cell deal too. So they go to Mexico and they have been for years, to get treated because they're not allowed to be treated in America or in Canada or wherever else they are at because it hasn't been approved yet. Even though it might be an emergency for you or your family because you have limited time to live, doesn't matter. Your life doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What does matter to them is we got to do this emergency use authorization on this medication, this medication, this medication, and this medication from these 3 or 4 private companies that have nothing to do with the government because we say so. And they weren't tested enough. They may not have been in certain circumstances, or some maybe were, but we're guessing, or at least we're trying to justify because it's probably going to be better if you do it than if you don't. So that's what we're going with. So it has an EUA, Emergency Use Authorization. Go back to, I'm going to repeat myself again, if you're suffering from an ailment or your family or your children or whatever, and it has nothing to do with them, it's not going to pat their backs or pocketbooks or their wallets. They don't give 2 wits about you whatsoever. That doesn't matter. You can't do this because it's not safe or it hasn't been approved or because it's dangerous or because whatever else they're going to tell you, even though you have limited time here, you've been told, and they see how much you're suffering. Maybe they don't see because they don't care. But you know how much you're suffering. You've been telling people how much you are. But you don't have that option and that opportunity to try anything you can to help yourself and save yourself because there's not an EUA out for that thing that you might need or these things or this plant or this other procedure or this alternative medicine, as I want to call it. You know, if it's not Flexner, it's not Rockefeller, it's not medicine. That's what they say nowadays, which is ridiculous. People need to look into that stuff. But anyways, I'm just saying this. It's a real quick video. I have nothing more to say on this. I just want people to think about this. It just amazes me. And it makes me feel so bad and sorry for people. And I hate feeling sorry for people. I shouldn't. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me and my family, but I do because they're in a predicament that they don't feel they can get out of because of regulation and because of all this other stuff, all this red tape, all this other deals from our elected slave owners. That's basically what they are, and they do nothing for you and I. They only do stuff for themselves and try to make you believe it's all about you, which in reality, if you think about things like this, for example, it's not. It's not even about you at all. But anyways, I just hate to have this quick video and just talk about this. It's bothering me. I had it on top of my mind. I thought I'm just going to do something quick and get it out there. So if you like this, like, share, subscribe, like I've always said, and stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect